Hey guys, welcome back to the Daddy Cliff channel. Today let's look at another opportunity to study in South Korea, precisely at Sungkyunkwan University. Sungkyunkwan University is a university that is located in Suwon, South Korea, and there is a direct train station that can lead you to Seoul. For those who would love to always visit Seoul, Sungkyunkwan University is connected to Line 1 on the train subway that goes to Seoul Station in South Korea. So they have the General Graduate School International Students Admission, that is for fall 2024. That is for those who would want to study in South Korea in September. Let's look at the application timelines. Online admission will begin on the 4th of March 2024. That is for the first round of application, and it will end on the 5th of April 2024. And it is important to note that applications can be done online. We will look at how to go about doing that. And then interview will begin from the 20th of April. Then you would know your result by the 8th of May 2024, and it will be on this website. For those who would not succeed in getting a scholarship, then they would have to pay tuition fee. So we will look at how you can go about getting a fully funded scholarship at Sungkyunkwan University. But first, let's look at this important information. It says here, application documents should be submitted online, and only accepted students will be required to submit the original documents via postal or in person by the notified due date. You can apply online, and after the selection process, if you succeed in the selection process, that is when you can submit the hard copies. They say applicants should submit an online application with all the required documents scanned and uploaded in PDF form. If you go to page 5 and 6, you would find the documents. Applicants may be requested to submit additional documents via post by the Department Office for Evaluation. So this is also a possibility, and it is important to note that there are two rounds. The second round will begin from May 2024, and third round might be held in May if need be. That is, in case they are not able to get the required number of students, they will conduct subsequent admissions to get more students to study at Sungkyunkwan University. And it is always important to go to this website to get detailed information about admission and results. It is important to note that this admission process will be for those who would want to do either a master or PhD, or a combined master and PhD, or for those who would want to do just a PhD. And then for language, it is important to note that if you have TOEFL, IELTS, or any of the required English language test scores, the official language test score, you can provide them. But if you do not have an IELTS or TOEFL, but can prove that you did your studies in English, provide them. So an English proficiency from your university indicating that you did your bachelor's degree in English is enough as proof that you understand English language. It's enough proof that you can equally study in English language. So provide a document from your school indicating that your studies were carried out in English. Now, scholarship, they have B. They say scholarship for international students of natural science, engineering, medical department. That is the STEMs. If you are a STEM student, then you have a great opportunity here to study in South Korea at Sungkyunkwan University on a fully funded scholarship. They say here, candidates selected, international students accepted into natural science, engineering, or medical departments with qualifications and receive recommendation from advising professors at SKKU, that is Sungkyunkwan University in South Korea. It is important to note that if you are an engineering student or a medical department student, make sure you begin right now by contacting a professor at Sungkyunkwan University requesting for a possibility to study at the university. I have another video on the channel. This video, you have these two videos here: how to apply to university scholarship, professor funded project, study in Korea, how to get a professor scholarship in Korea fully funded. These two videos will help you greatly. So go to my channel and watch this video. I'll provide a link down in the description on how to go about contacting professors. Important documents that you must provide when contacting a professor. You don't just email them indicating that you want them to offer you a scholarship. There are certain documents that you must provide it to them. If you don't do that, they would ignore your email. It's very important. And also on the channel, the Global Korea Scholarship is currently ongoing. You can go ahead and look at this video on how to fill out the application form, recommendations, things that you must do. There is a whole playlist on the channel on the Global Korea Scholarship. This playlist here, GKS Graduate Series. If you click on it, you would find a whole lot of videos here that can help you prepare well for the Global Korea Scholarship. Preparation is key to succeeding in getting any scholarship, not just in South Korea but in any other part of the world. So you have these videos here that can guide you. Some are interviews with other people who've gained the scholarships. Why not go ahead and then watch the videos and get inspiration from them? That being said, it is very important to know that for you to get a fully funded scholarship at Sungkyunkwan University, you need to contact a professor. It says here it is required to contact the advising professor prior to application. Scholarship amount first semester only, up to 100% tuition fee waiver, initial settlement fund of 600,000 Korean won. That is approximately less than $500 to help you settle once you get to South Korea. And then they say from the second semester, recommendation of the advising professor is required each semester for nomination, and then initial settlement fund is only awarded once. This money is only awarded once to help you settle. So basically here they are saying that the professor has to decide based on your results on if they would allow you study on a fully funded 100% tuition fee waiver based on the results that you will obtain. It is very important that you know that professor funded scholarships in South Korea is based on your performance. If you get a scholarship fully funded to go and study in South Korea and you're not able to maintain a certain GPA, know that you would lose your scholarship and you would have to probably pay a certain amount of tuition, and that is where your problems will begin, because on going to the immigration to extend your visa, you would have to prove that you have funds to continue studying in South Korea. So it is very important that you make sure once you get this scholarship, get to South Korea, you take your studies very seriously. And then also for PhD students, they say students may receive scholarship for the research enrollment semester. Amount will be determined by the department upon evaluation. So it is also very important to note that your monthly allowance will be decided by your professor. They would pay your tuition fee, but they would equally decide on your monthly allowance. It is not always very important for you to base too much interest on how much you'll be receiving on a monthly basis. The professor would decide. They can decide for a master's student to give them 500,000 per month, that is 500,000 Korean won. They can decide to offer you 800,000, 700,000 Korean won, or even 1 million Korean won. Whichever the amount they give you, accept it. Once you're already in South Korea, there is always a possibility for you to negotiate your monthly allowance with the professor based on the amount of work that he gives you, because you would be very much in charge of writing articles, going out for conferences, even traveling to other countries to present in conferences. So in most of those cases, you will need financing from your professor. In that situation, the professor might even want you to like maybe evaluate the lower classes, especially for those who are in masters and PhD. They might ask you to evaluate bachelor's degree program students. So it's very important that you take into account the fact that the only way you can get a fully funded scholarship at Sungkyunkwan University is through the professor funded scholarship. Go ahead and click on the link down there and watch the video on what types of documents you need to get ready to apply for a professor funded scholarship. You must contact them now before the admission begins. For those who would not receive a scholarship, these are the scholarship amounts. Some people might receive 100%, some might receive 70%, some might receive 50, 25 or 10%, which means they would have to pay the remaining fee. There is also another type of scholarship called the merit-based scholarship, but for this one, STEM students are not involved with this, because STEM student scholarship will be decided by their professor based on their performance with their professor. There are other types of scholarships that will be based on your performance, based on your research record and academic record. So it's very important that you take the opportunity and contact a professor, especially if you are a STEM student. When applying to study at Sungkyunkwan University, pay attention to required documents. It is very important to know that all the application documents are down at the end of this application guideline document. So know that you must provide the application form either in English or Korean. Like we already talked about, English proficiency can be waived if you can prove that your studies were carried out in English. And another thing that you should take into account is that there is an application fee to study at Sungkyunkwan University. The application fee is 100,000 Korean won. I know it might be a discouraging factor, but there is an application fee for you to study at Sungkyunkwan University. And in some cases, those will be applying for STEM majors. The professor can decide to equally waive it. For the departments, it's very important that you go through this list of departments that are here. If you see O, it means it is available for masters, it is available for PhD, but not available for masters and PhD combined, not available for transfer students. And then language proficiency. If you're studying any of these majors here, if you're applying for any of these majors, know that you will need at least topic level 5 or above. But on the contrary, for those who will be applying to do one of the STEM majors that we talked about, topic is not a requirement. For example, here it says mathematics, actuarial science, certificate for English proficiency. For those who are in the sciences, biological science, certificate of English, mathematics, certificate of English. So if you can prove that your studies were carried out in English, then you have an opportunity to study in English here. Physics also. All the science majors have but English proficiency. So go ahead and look at the requirements for English when applying. But on the contrary, for those who would be doing some of the other majors that we just looked at up there, like drama, political science, they will require topic test of Korean proficiency. But most of the science majors, as you've been seeing here, require just a certificate of English proficiency because the majors are in English. You can see here the majors are all in English for those who are in the STEM majors. But if you're going in for things like design, fine arts, look at it, topic level 5 or above. And having topic will be an opportunity for you to easily get the scholarship also for those who will be going into any of these majors. For example, even economics, they say English and Korean, and they would need you to have at least topic level 5 to study economics, international trade, topic level 6. So take into account that when applying. That being said, the next video is going to be on more scholarships in South Korea. That will be probably on Seoul National University. If you've not yet subscribed to the channel, make sure you do subscribe to the channel. Like the video if you find it informative, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.